Yo, what's going on? It's Momo Head Movement.
Hello, Callum.
Hello, thank you very much, Eddie. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm back from Vegas. Now we're in Nottingham.
Yeah,
it's a
been
little bit
all
different.
over the place.
Yeah, but I'm excited. These shows give me a lot of excitement and a lot of pleasure because they do such a great job to bring the young talent through, give the young talent a chance to headline and be deep on the cards, give them profile as well, and sort of. This is like the graduation grounds to see who's ready to step up into major fights on Saturday night fight nights. And you know, I'm excited to see a lot of these guys. A couple of guys making their pro debuts. Got an American over here from New Jersey, in Raymond Ford. Got two really good championship fights as well at the top of the card. Got heavyweight action. Got women's boxing. So I'm excited.
They're quite excited to see Frankham and Dalton Smith as well.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, I think. Travelling around the world at all these shows, you really get to realise how much great talent there is worldwide. You know, and we have some of the best of it here. I mean, Charles Frankham and Dalton Smith are two of the very elite amateurs to turn pro. But it doesn't mean you're going to make it as a pro. You know, I think they both have the ability to do it, but their journey starts on Friday night. Both got a lot of support, both got a lot of talent, but it's a very, very tough game, and there's a long way to go. But you know, it all starts on Friday for them.
Yeah, well, I was speaking to Jordan Gill now about the Galahad and Warrington fight, and obviously he don't like looking past fights, but he's not too far away from that.
He's not. I mean, you know, this is his kind of last little next gen appearance because he's headlined the next gen in Peterborough, sold a huge amount of tickets. Now he goes here as well, and then after that, really, Dave will be looking to put him in major fights, European Championship fights, you know, maybe world title eliminator, stuff like that. So he's got a massive opportunity. He's got a tough fight against Tinoco. You know, we were just talking about it. Tinoco's a guy who, the losses in his career, really, he's been slung in at late notice. He boxed Devin Haney, you know, up at 135 pounds. He's a featherweight, and that was at like a week, 2 weeks notice. So
Haney's quality.
Yeah, great fighter, and you know, he went the distance with him. So you know he's got a great chin, you know he's got great durability, but he has also had a great camp. He's had proper preparation. He hasn't gone 2 weeks, he's had 7 weeks prep for this fight. So that's a long time for a fighter like him. I know his team, I know the people behind him. They always give great value for money. They're here to win. It's going to be a real good, solid test for him. And you know, Lee Wood against Ryan Doyle's a great fight. Nottingham against Manchester. You know, Lee Wood gets a chance to bring big-time boxing back to Nottingham. Let's see what he's got, because it's not going to be easy for him. Because Ryan Doyle, we've seen before, upset the apple cart against Reece Bellotti. He can punch. He's technically a lot better than people think as well. And I think it's a real solid test for Lee Wood.
Okay, moving on, Canelo, big talk about who's going to fight next. He's the big name at the moment. Obviously, there's Bubu Andrade, which I think I personally would want to watch because it's a unification one.
Yeah.
But how
Undisputed
serious,
fight.
Yeah, undisputed unification. But how serious are the talks with Callum Smith?
It's another fight we'd all love. You know, I mean, Canelo, actually, when I left the arena on Saturday, I said to Canelo, well done. And he turned around to me and went, Eddie, who you got next for me? You know, he's beat Rocky Field, and now he's beat Danny Jacobs. And we've got two more opponents with him as well, Callum Smith and Demetrius Andrade. You know, Andrade is the undisputed fight. So that's really interesting. I think that, you know, he'll fight Golovkin next, I believe. And then I think the Callum Smith fight is there for him next spring. You know, once he moves up to super middle, he's obviously the Ring Magazine belt holder at middleweight. Callum's the Ring Magazine belt holder and the #1 in the division at 168. And if he wants to fight the best, which I know he does, you know, Callum Smith fight's a fight we'd love to make.
So should we take that seriously? That could actually happen?
For sure. I mean, you know, they mention him a lot, but there's also, you know, his name comes up behind the scenes as well. You know, with the broadcasters and stuff like that. So, you know, the Callum Smith-Canelo fight is definitely a fight for 2020. As is Demetrius, because I keep saying to Demetrius, you're the key to the undisputed title. You hold the last belt, so he's in a great position as well. He's got to fight Sulecki on June 29th. Won't be easy either, but you know, I think Andrade is a quality fighter. It's going to be a great matchup as well.
Okay, moving on to another massive name, Anthony Joshua. He's got the Ruiz fight. You know Joshua very well. How has all the ups and downs and the craziness that surrounded this fight, has it affected his mental strength?
I mean, I haven't seen it because he's the ultimate pro, but you've got to think it's going to affect you. You know, you're training for this guy who's telling you he's going to do this, he's going to do that, then he gets busted for PEDs 3 times. And then you've got another guy in Andy Ruiz, get a little bit of stick because he doesn't look like Joshua, but everyone in boxing knows it's a tougher fight than Jarrell Miller. Everyone in boxing knows that Ruiz is a quality fighter. and he has nothing to lose. He's going to come. He's going to let his hands go. He's got power. He's got chin. He's durable. So
he's got hand speed as well, which you wouldn't think.
It's not a great style for AJ. A smaller guy with good hand speed, likes to work the body, whip him in over the top. It's going to be a really good fight. It's our job just to convince people of that. Everyone in boxing knows it's a really good fight, but obviously to the casual fan, they'll say, "Oh, he don't look like AJ." But it's a really good, credible fight, and just 3 weeks this Saturday till the pro debut at Madison Square Garden.
Yep. And what do you make of the comments of obviously Deontay Wilder said that it might not happen and this
it's disappointing.
and the 50-50. Are you still working for that fight? What's the situation?
Well, I mean, look, they made it very clear. Firstly, they wanted 60-40. And
in
now
Wilder's favour?
No, for Joshua.
Yeah.
Then they wanted 50. Now they want 50-50. Now he's saying even if we get 50-50, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like giving up, really. It's really bad news for the sport of boxing.
Yeah, that's concerning.
I don't know what they're doing, really. It's almost like they want to freeze him out. But why would you want to freeze someone out who can pay you like a fortune and give you the undisputed fight? Like it's childish, really. But maybe they just don't want to fight him. Maybe they just want to keep milking defences. We'll see. But someone's going to get beat.
But how many defences would you have to milk to make the equivalent that you would for the Joshua fight? Even losing to Joshua.
Apparently, he's agreed to fight Brazil, Ortiz, then Kownacki. That's the rumour. And then he'll look at it after that. But then you're talking about like middle of next year. So it's very frustrating because I think finally now the fans are getting to see the truth, which is they don't want to fight. Like they're not trying to make the fight. Everything they're saying tell you they don't want the fight. So we've all got to do, and when I say all, everyone in the division, Dillian, AJ, Fury, Wilder, the main players, have just got to keep winning. Someone could get beat, and then it's all over.
Yeah. You've seen how when Pacquiao lost to Marquez, how it affected the Mayweather fight.
And all these guys, Ruiz can beat Joshua, Brazil can beat Wilder, Schwartz can't beat Fury, but everyone else is in serious fights. So you got to be careful. Dillian Whyte against Oscar Rivas, that's a massive banana skin. All these fights are tough.
What do you make of Fury's comment saying that he's only got 3 fights and he's done?
Again, it doesn't really seem like there's a lot of serious people out there other than AJ and probably Dillian Whyte. They're the ones that are saying we want to fight everybody and we want to be around for 5-10 years. Everyone else is saying, oh, we're going to fight these easy fights or we're going to retire in 3 fights. So it's not very inspiring to fight fans hearing these comments. I want people to say, I want to be around forever and rule this division.
Because it was frustrating as a fan when the fights were not getting made, but when you're hearing that, I'm trying to make it, it's quite encouraging. But when you're hearing that,
people never really believe that we're trying to make it now until they're seeing the comments that are coming out now. Now we see it on our socials. I was like, look at me, Hearn was that. It ain't Hearn's fault. Do you know what I mean? And it is frustrating. But I don't know what else you can do.
Okay, moving on. What's the situation with Amir Khan? Have you spoken to him?
No, I'm actually speaking to his team tomorrow to see what they want to do. I mean, look, there's still the Brook fight, which is definitely still of interest. And see what his thoughts are. He could take another fight in America. He definitely wants to fight again. And we'll see his thoughts this week.
And what about Brook if the card situation doesn't happen?
I think Brook wants to fight Terence Crawford. I think that's the fight he wants. I saw Terence, he was in Vegas, and he's up for that fight. Whether that's a fight big enough for them now, I don't know. But it's a fight that Kel would open with both arms. For me, I'd still like to make the Amir Khan fight, but I've been wanting to do that for about. It's just one I want to tick off the list, So we'll see what happens over the next few weeks.
Okay, and Lomachenko, Luke Campbell announced yesterday. You wasn't too pleased with it?
Not really. I just don't see why another champion should just stroll in and get a vacant world title shot in a division. What's the point in aligning yourself to a governing body, winning these international titles, paying your sanction fees, and dedicating yourself to that governing body if when a title becomes vacant they don't even go down the rankings. So that was why. I mean, I'd like Luke Campbell to fight the next available challenger, then fight Lomachenko in an undisputed fight. Would they allow Richard Comey to come in and fight for the vacant title? No. I understand the game. I know why, because they want to get as much money as they can into the division, the biggest name in the division. They'd probably do the same for AJ. So to shoot, it works both ways, but it was just disappointing for me that people that have dedicated themselves to the WBC haven't got the opportunity to fight for the world title.
I guess there's a silver lining in that Luke Campbell will get the exposure that he deserves.
He will, but he would have got more exposure if he won the world title and then fought an undisputed title.
Yeah.
You know, so like when we went through the process of fighting for WBC silver titles or fighting for final eliminators, did we expect that another world champion would just breeze in and fight for a vacant belt? No. And would we have kept going that route if we did know that? Maybe not. So, you know, listen, nothing's ever simple, but I was a bit disappointed.
Okay, final point now. Carl Froch and George Groves. Is this serious? Does it have legs? What's going on?
I don't know, he keeps talking about it. They're actually doing a little tour together, which is going to be entertaining. I think every great fighter is always curious about getting back in the ring. You know, Carl never got beat up. You know, when a fighter gets beat up or knocked out, sometimes that signals the end for them.
Yeah.
But he retired on a win, which is quite unique, really.
Yeah.
So I think there's always that curiosity, but I don't think you'll see him back anytime soon. I'd be up for it, you know. But you know, I think
from how it looks to us, it's like it depends if Groves is up for it because Froch seems to.
We'll see. I mean, again, they've got this little tour together, so we'll see what kicks off after that. But you know, I think for Carl, it's been a long time now since he's been retired. He's still in unbelievable shape. Yeah. But he probably misses a good tear up.
Yeah. And obviously seeing George Groves so close to him as well.
Yeah. That's great. You know, they did like a fake head-to-head, you know, and I was thinking, oh yes, number 3. I'd still love to see it because I know Froch is in shape and he was never declining in his career. And Groves is only
he was an absolute professional throughout the whole.
Groves will probably be the one who struggled to make weight now. Froch is on it.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think you'll see it anytime soon.
Okay. Anything else you want to add before I let you
good,
go?
mate. Just looking forward to Friday night. Ready to go.
Yep, that's perfect. More Head Movement TV. Callum with the main man Eddie Hearn. Thank you very much, bro.